I remember it just used to be a little wooden wicker fence with a little wire twined in. I used to stand there as a kid looking through, because I was that small I couldn't actually look over the fence. And then to be stood here now as a factory Honda rider.
Welcome to the latest episode of Behind the Mountain. Isle of Man TT is over for this year, but I'm delighted to say I'm with Dean Harrison. Dean, 2 wins this week. Could have been a third, but the senior TT yesterday was cancelled. Your reaction?
Obviously, as a rider, you want to race, so we are disappointed, but I do back Gary's decision 100%. I think it was the right decision. There were so many complaints, not just from myself, other riders, of how difficult the conditions were. And even the less of experienced riders will struggle, and that's where you get caught out. The tracks, the TTs, obviously we all know it's a dangerous track as it is when on perfect. So let's say conditions are perfect. It's a dangerous track. So when the wind's barred on, there's damp patch and things like that, it just adds to the collective.
Okay, so what does the TT mean to you? And does it mean something different now that you live here?
No, living here, the TT's always has been the biggest race of the year for me. Living here or not hasn't really changed that perspective. I just think the event as a whole is just mind-blowing.
Yeah. This week, though, it's been a little bit mind-blowing in the fact that the the schedule's been changed somewhat. How does that impact you in the way you prepare?
Yesterday was a long day. Do you know, when you're waiting around so much to go? But do you know, the weather's not going to be 100%. We are obviously experiencing the lovely British weather, as they say, or the Isle of Man weather. But no, I've sort of got used to it now. At the first, you used to get quite worse and things like that, but you just think everyone's in the same boat. They're all waiting to go as well as you are. So I just sit there, have a cup of tea, and just wait for the signal. It's like the Northwest, the same, isn't it? They're like waiting to go. So just wait until they say go, and we'll go. As long as you're ready, you're fine.
Let's go back a couple of weeks. You began qualifying with a bang. Were you on it from that moment, or was there a moment later when you actually thought, yeah, I'm in the zone now?
Do you know what? I tried to go fast straight away, just because I thought with the weather through the week, sometimes when you're restricted on setup time, if you take it a little bit too steady, you're not quite sure how the bike's going to behave when you get up to speed. So I thought if I can get up to speed as quickly as possible, it gives us the best data to go off to improve the bike for the race.
You did obviously get up to speed all the way through, because then you went on to 2 wins. I mean, daft question, but you must be delighted with that.
Honestly, I can't describe the feeling of winning. Winning 1 TT here is unbelievable. To win 2 in a week, obviously, it's like the little cherry on top of the cake for me. And it's been, people say it's a long time coming. It's been not frustrating, because finishing second is an achievement itself, third's an achievement. It's unbelievable to get on a podium here. But even with the run up to the Northwest, we've been second there and always in the fight for the win, just not quite getting over the line first. To get the first one here just felt like I had a lot of pressure lifted off me, and then it just made the second race much more enjoyable. And
overall, what does it mean winning these 2 races this week, the overall picture?
Do you know what, it's difficult to describe. For me, it's just what we all set out to do. And even for Honda, to win the Super Stock race, which is the bike you can go buy from the showroom, is special for me and them.
Is there one particular highlight of this past fortnight that you can go, yeah?
The second lap of the first Super Stock race, we set the fastest ever Metzler tired lap around the island. We won the race, and just we eked out the lead at every little time sector, so proves we had the pace when we need to do it. So
then, looking back on these 2 weeks, unfinished business in terms of not getting the senior underway, or is there pride in what you've actually done this week, regardless of what's the schedule changes, etc.?
I think, to be honest, with the weather we've had this week, I think the schedule they put together was unbelievable. To say we only missed 1 lap off a Super Sport race, 1 lap off a stock race, full length Super Sport in the second one, full length Super Stock in the second race. I think the organisers have done such a good job in getting in what we did, given the weather that we had. So yes, we have missed 1 race at the end of the week, which is obviously one of the biggest races, but that's out of their control. I feel the weather had their arms up the back, let's say. So as a whole, I think it's been brilliant.
You mentioned that it's special getting a podium at the TT, but this week you took your first win since 2019. Did that feel like you had a weight lifted off your shoulders a little bit?
Massively, especially over the last few years, we're finishing second and third and always been knocking on the door on the podium. And I think the saying goes, if you keep knocking on the door long enough, eventually it will open. And I feel like this week the door's definitely opened. To win 1 is massive, and then we went from winning 3 to 4, then to win 5 is just, you know, I sometimes find it a bit surreal, really, because as a kid growing up, I remember stood here against this fence and watching people come in here and looking in Park Ferme. I remember when, instead of having these tents here, I remember it just used to be a little wooden wicker fence with a little wire twined in. I used to stand there as a kid looking through, because I was that small I couldn't actually look over the fence. And then to be stood here now as a factory Honda rider, 5 times a TT winner, is a bit, I feel all grown up.
So where do you think you can go from here in terms of the TT?
Do you know, as an event as a whole, I love it. I think it's, as events go, it's the best event in the world for me, and I just want to continue trying to win races and doing what I do, because I just love it.
Yeah, that's now 3 big bike wins for you as well, isn't it? So you've got the senior and these 2 big 1000cc wins.
The thing about my 5 wins, for example, what makes it was quite special to me is I've won in the little super twin class, I've won the super sport class, I've won the senior, and now I've won the super stock. So to have a trophy of every single class is special, because it means that the versatility of me of being a rider's there. And
also you're racking up the podiums as well. They've been, I mean, with 5 wins, but dozens of podiums, or it seems.
Yeah, 35, I think, podiums we've had around here, so we're knocking on the door of the most podiums, so if we just keep going at that, we'll keep chipping away at it.
Dean, congratulations, great week for you, 2 wins. Looking forward to next year already.
Yes, yeah, ready to go. So I've got Snetterton next, so I've got quite a few British Super Sport rounds to do for the rest of the year to keep myself sharp, and I need to get stuck into that, so we'll have to start planning now.